My name is Mary Maldonado, and Bernadette, you have been amazing. Oh my goodness, where do we start? I believe it was 2016 when my life before 2016 was a life a girl could dream of. Amazing grades, amazing self-esteem. Like everything was going so well for me, as if I didn't have a big connection with God. I was okay with spirit at minimum. Like every day girl walks into the shop, buys a rock, I'll be fine. And then all of a sudden, something horrible happened to me, and I just went down the drain. I was to the point I was clinically depressed. I was just in shambles spiritually. My whole connection with spirit, with source, was devastated, to the point where I felt like a chicken with no head. My choices in life were going down the drain. My grades were just shot, to the point where I was going to drop out of my university. And I had been there for like, I think it was my second year starting there, and I was just devastated. I'd been in school 4 years in the university, and it was like practically not the last leg of my run, but it was just there. So everything, I couldn't go to school because I kept having panic attacks every day, psychic attacks every day, nightmares, to the point where like I need help. Like, and it was horrible because I was so scared. I've never felt fear like death. It felt like death was approaching me. And I went to a very low spot. And then all of a sudden, I found you because my sister had no idea my sister had added you. And you know what? When I was like in a very dark place, dark spot in my mind, emotionally and spiritually, um, I, I couldn't see the light, like spiritually speaking, literally. I could not reach out to anybody. And then my sister told me about you, and I was kind of like, one eye open, like, okay, let's just give this a try, because like I don't know where else to go. I felt like all the phones were down, had no connection to source anymore. I was like, okay, who shut off the power in my heart, like the light? And yes, exactly. So I was diagnosed with OCD, and not the cleaning type. I always say there is a worse type. You actually would never wish it on your worst enemy. It's like the destructive mentality thinking, what if? Like a lot of people think, oh, what if I don't buy this shirt? It was more like, what if this thing happened? What if I don't make it in life? What if I did this to somebody? It was just horrible, negative, the most negative, ugliest feeling I've ever had. Not only you think about it, but you feel it in your body. And when I met you, you taught me about tapping. And I was like, anything at this point, well, shit can help me, because I was just like pleading for a breath of fresh air where I would not wake up and have a panic attack. Because I was breaking down, crying, and pretty much laying on the couch, feeling weak after the panic attack, and like throwing up everything I ate. And then you taught me about tapping, and I was like, let's give this a try. And redirecting my thoughts, retraining my brain. And it worked. For the first time in my life, I was able to get some control over my body without having to take like a pill or something. Because basically I was given pills, and I was like, oh no. But the tapping, oh goodness. I never thought simple pressure points in the body could actually release so much tension, and it was literally fear coming out of me. And talking with me helped so much, because I was already having attacks. Even during our conversations, I remember just I was having a panic attack with you. Not with you, but during the conversation, and you helped maintain my focus throughout the tapping, guiding me step by step, because it's so easily to get distracted. Because I had done meditations on YouTube, but by the time it was like, oh, no, paralyzing fear is coming over, but in a horrible way. Yes, there was a lot. There was some dark stuff going on.
Yeah.
It was very scary, like demonic to the point, because I remember the worst night I had was when I literally had spirit, if I may say, in this video, I had an evil spirit tell me to go kill myself. and hurt my family. I was like, oh my, it was just horrible. It was just like, wow. And it's almost, it makes you question source for a little bit. Like, hey, where are you guys? You're supposed to be protecting me. Like, and then I found out, oh my gosh, my fear is allowing this to come in.
Yeah.
Dark night of the soul. Yes, it was so much purging. And I didn't even know what a dark night of the soul was. I was like, whoa, hey, I thought I was already awakened. You know? I was like, whoa, this is what an awakening is. This is like being introduced not to the like, oh, cute archangel, happiness, rainbows. And it was like literally purging the shadow self. The ego came alive. And with the tapping and Charm Life, you kind of helped me purge my ego. It was actually a lot. It was like a merry-go-round for me, but it was, you helped me step by step understand myself spiritually, because anyone could tell you it's going to get better or go home and lay down. You know, anyone can tell you that. You actually helped me understand my thoughts and my feelings better than my licensed counselor. I was like, she was like, and so how did that make you feel? I was like, horrible. You know, but you actually helped me go into those feelings and go into those feelings and really actually dissect them. Like, what is holding you back? What is keeping you? And it makes you become, you're the student, but you have taught me so much in that course to become a teacher for myself. Like, it's okay to have those thoughts. It's okay to go into those feelings, because a lot of us want to put a Band-Aid over it. Like, let's go around. It's like, it never happened. And that was the biggest thing. Having shame. You helped me have courage to bring out my story to others, to other college students who are going through depression and having these attacks, because it's scary, because we're in this like modern society where we have to almost be like, our noses are stuck up. We're like, oh no, bad things can't happen. 2018, I was at a point where I got out of a relationship with a horrible person who just had a low energy. And of course, after my whole get up of awakening and dark night of the soul, all that had passed, and I was healing, and I was so strong, Bernadette. You made me so strong where I was able to get away from this relationship during my own healing process and continue. That's how amazing it was. Like, I never knew I had so much unawakened power until you actually showed me, like, hey, don't forget who you are in Charm Life. Like, that's how an amazing teacher you are. Charmed, the whole course Charmed was like leading up to bringing in my twin flame, essentially. And it was amazing. I just, all of a sudden, I met this young man on the internet. There you go, powerful source of the internet. And we just hit it off. And he's like, yeah, I'll fly 6,000 miles to meet you. It was amazing. So he flew over, his name is Thomas, and he flew over to America, 6,000 miles to meet me. Hit it off awesome. And then he told me, I want you to meet my parents. Come over to my home, and I'm going to show you Europe. I'm like, what? And I was so scared, because I thought, new culture, everything, new world. And I thought, they're going to hate me because I'm American, and there's a lot of political tension going on. And no, I was welcomed into their family as one of their own. He keeps surprising me. The surprises and the gifts don't stop. The love is so overflowing. It's kind of like, ew. It's like stop with that mushy gushy. It's like, we're polar opposites, and we give each other that room and that respect. And he's so princely. Like a progression. I have a Bachelor of Science in Teaching now.
Congratulations.
So look at the girl. Thank you. The girl who I was in 2016 was a girl who was hiding in her pillowcase, crying her eyes out, shaking uncontrollably. And the woman that I am now, is so powerful. A teacher, becoming a teacher, I wouldn't say official teacher, but becoming a teacher already. Graduated. I didn't give up, thanks to you. I just, oh my goodness, I feel like you're the lion tamer of the egos.
The jackass whisperer.
There you go. You just whispered to my ass that I had. Like, man, mine was bad, because mine was just in the swimming. Like, it wasn't even on the ground. It was just swimming. Well, self-pity.
I remember was it your mom? Your mom talked to me briefly in the middle of all of that, of when you were in crisis. I remember she said something to me about thank you for giving her back to us.
Yes.
She's like, we were praying and thank you for giving her back to us. And I think she was a little skeptical and a little worried because I do, the spirit thing. But she was, at that point, they were so desperate to try anything.
Yes, it was crazy. I would go to Reiki and these people didn't have a lot of experience. By the time, I was blind by sorrow and by fear. And yeah, thank you so much. Yes, I have to say, not just with tapping helped me maintain control of my body, because that's why I was so scared. I had no control over my own nerves. It felt like being a wild ass. Just like everything spooked me. Everything just made me want to crawl back the lowest of the low. And just you helping me, guiding me, calling me, and me calling you, and just going through those steps together. It was almost meditational. Really, it was. Those points and references, and really, you didn't carry. The one thing I noticed, a lot of people, being a spiritual, kind of like a spiritual teacher, a little bit. I'm getting there, but a lot of people want you to do the work for them. Like, okay, do your magic wand. It takes some going into the mud to understand how clear your life can be. That's what you helped me do, and that's a beautiful thing. You're an amazing teacher. I really feel it. I've been working with the Ascended Masters lately, and Kuan Yin just rings the bell with me, and for you. It's such a beautiful connection. Like, whoever sees this video later, once you meet Bernadette, once anyone who meets you, there's this beautiful divine, like almost like you get a stamp Bernadette student for life, no matter how far.